Hello and welcome to Crowforest Reviews. Mr. Magorium's Wonder Emporium. Yeah, I was too lazy to write a proper intro. So the movie opens with the lamest credits ever. The movie opens proper with a kid narrating over a shot of a rejected circus strongman sleeping on a couch with his teddy bear. Actually, on second thought, that really doesn't sound like a very proper way to open a movie. So the narrator kid exposits that the strongman guy is Mr. Magorium's scribe, and that it is his job to write down a detailed biography of Magorium's very long and eccentric life. That's a lot of books.
There were those who called Magorium a genius, and this one guy from Detroit inexplicably called him Steve.
Okay, that was kind of a funny line. So anyway, the kid continues to exposit about Mr. Magorium, even going so far as to give away the ending.
But Magorium's story was reaching its final chapters.
Gee, spoilers! And then he kind of loses track of what he's talking about, and starts telling us about the other main character. So cut over to Molly Mahoney, Mr. Magorium's personal butt monkey, or assistant. She's working on her first concerto, but she can't seem to find the right notes.
And so that's how this chapter begins, with my hat getting stuck.
So we finally meet the kid who's been narrating this whole time, and we learn that he's kind of antisocial through some rather clumsy exposition.
So did you make any friends at camp?
Yeah, Jeff.
Jeffrey,
He was a squirrel.
This is, of course, a plot point. So Mary Sue and Narration Kid go into the toy store, which immediately comes to life, and then Mary Sue goes through a Willy Wonka door to reach Magorium.
How'd you sleep?
Upside down, mate.
So we learn right off the bat that Magorium is a bit strange. Let's be nice and say strange.
I stayed up all night making turnip pudding and
Wait, did you sleep upside down or did you stay up all night? I'm confused.
then I've owned the Emporium for over 113 years. Almost 114 years.
That is a true statement. It's a completely worthless bit of information, but it is a true statement.
And not once have I even looked at a receipt, so I've absolutely no idea what the store is worth.
Then how did you stay open for 113 years?
I'm hiring an accountant. According to the word, it must be a cross between a counter and a mutant.
What? Anyway, after that, Mary Sue tells Magorium that she's feeling kind of stuck in her life, like she can't find her true self. Which, yeah, that's exactly the kind of thing I tell to crazy people. And Magorium decides to take a short break from being a crazy person to be the wise old mentor figure. What? This is the guy who less than a minute ago said that an accountant was a cross between a counter and a mutant. He can't be a wise old mentor figure. I don't care what universe you're in. But then he gets right back into crazy territory when it turns out that his life advice is just a giant block of wood. Yes. That's his advice. Wood. In block form. And giant. And did I mention wood?
It looks like a big block of wood.
It is a big block of wood, but now it's your big block of wood.
Yeah, that sounds all deep and philosophical and crap, but it's still a block of wood.
You may find yourself somewhere you've never imagined.
Yeah, like the set of this movie. Hey, I never said it would be a good place. So we get a lot of shots of kids playing in the store as whimsy happens all around them. And to this movie's credit, most of the effects are pretty good. Most of them.
May I borrow your hat?
So cut back over to Mary Sue. She's playing air piano because, well, that one quirk is the entirety of her personality. She has no personality outside of that one quirk. So anyway, one of Mary Sue's old friends comes in, and he has this to say.
Hey, holy cow, you still working?
Yeah.
What was up with that pause there?
Hey, holy
Don't say crap, don't say crap, don't say crap.
cow, you still working?
So they make slow, awkward conversation that serves no purpose other than to provide more exposition. So What's-His-Face is about to leave the store, never to be seen again, when Mary Sue stops him for the oddest reason. Apparently some bouncy balls are attempting to steal themselves to him. Wow. I never thought there would be a context in which that sentence structure would actually kind of make sense. That should just not happen.
Out. behind you. Sorry about that. Take care.
Wow! All stores should add this to their shrink awareness program. It would solve so many problems! So, What's-His-Face leaves, looking slightly weirded out by the
Out.
bats, and another customer comes up to Mary Sue, asking where she can find a toy fire truck.
This sounds like a job for the big book.
Not the big book! You don't just go to the big book.
How did you do that?
You're in a magic toy store, lady. Figure it out. Anyway, Magorium comes out of his office to interview mutant accountant guy, and he proceeds to ask him all kinds of math-related questions, including this one.
The hot dog to hot dog bun ratio. Why, for the love of mustard, are there never enough buns?
Because you can't count.
What kind of insufferable fool drops a hot dog?
What kind of an insufferable fool asks that question?
Anything can happen, sir.
Oh, absolutely true.
Not at all useful, but true.
I've heard great things about you.
Really?
No, not yet, but I'm sure I will.
This guy is insane. So Magorium and the accountants go into the office, and Magorium shows him all the receipts from the past 113 years. Something marginally interesting does happen, though, when we cut back over to the kid looking at a wall.
Does this seem right to you?
Does what?
The wall, for its part, is warping out angrily, as if it knows what movie it's in and it's pissed off about it. So it looks like they're setting up that the magic toy store is going to turn to a path of evil after the death of its benevolent caretaker. Wow, that's actually a really cool premise. How do they screw it up? But enough of that. Let's cut back over to Mary Sue working on her concerto. And with that, we come to chapter 2.
This chapter is called No, Seriously, Watch.
Why does this have chapters?
You see Mr. Magorium?
Yeah, he's about this tall. He's got crazy eyebrows.
Wah, wah, wah.
You really gotta get better with the jokes, Beaton.
So do you. So cut over to Narration Kid building a giant Abraham Lincoln out of Lincoln Logs. And cut over to Accountant Guy talking to Mary Sue and Stupid Head.
Got a signed IOU from Thomas Edison.
Really?
P.S. Thanks for the idea with a picture of the light bulb next to it.
Oh, so Edison didn't steal his ideas from Tesla. He stole them from Magorium. It all makes sense.
There's no such thing as a magical toy store.
Look, Guy, I sympathize with your position that the plot makes no sense, but you're saying that there's no such thing as a magic toy store. Well, in a magic toy store! So, sorry, I kind of have to conclude that you're an idiot. So anyway, cut to later that night. Magorium is alone in the toy store and he's talking to it, as sane people often do. And say, remember that really cool setup from earlier? Well...
I am very disappointed in you. That is no reason to turn gray and start pouting.
What? No!
A store your age? Sulking?
They did not just do that. They had a really cool setup going, and now they're just going to take it back and say, never mind, it was just a temper tantrum. And thus ends chapter 2. I've had it with these chapters!
This chapter is called Fun and Mental is Fundamental.
That doesn't even make any sense! So, cut to more forced awkward dialogue between the kid and his mom. She wants him to make friends, but he's not really into that. I think that was supposed to be character development. But I'm not really sure about that. So anyway, the kid agrees to try and make some friends, and so we get a montage of the kid trying to make friends with the accountant.
Don't be shy, just let your feelings roll on by. So don't really fear.
Huh. I'm not really sure if the movie wants me to play the wah-wah music here or not. It seems like it does at first, but then as the scene goes on, it's played more straight. So I'm not really sure what to take from this. Now, there's several different ways we can interpret this. We could take this to mean that the accountant is an obsessive workaholic who never leaves the office. Or we could assume that he works normal hours and will go home at the end of the day, and he was merely trying to get rid of the kid. But I think it makes more sense to take this at face value and assume that Magorium won't let him leave the office until the paperwork is finished, dooming him to file reports for all eternity. So cut over to Mary Sue looking at the wall. When she asks Magorium about it, he says that it's because the store isn't happy about him dying.
Store is not taking my departure very well.
What departure?
Wait, he didn't tell her? What an asshat!
Surprise! Surprise! Surprise!
And furthermore, he wants her to run the Emporium.
I can't run it.
Why not?
Because you have to run it.
That's not a good reason.
Any reason is a good reason. If she doesn't want to do it, she doesn't have to do it. This is the Bratz movie all over again. So Mary Sue tells Magorium that she can't run the store because she's not magic like him. And when she says it, the store gets angry, for some reason.
There's something wrong with this book you gave me.
Well, this is incomprehensible.
Oh, sorry, it looks like we gave you a copy of the script to this movie instead of the book you wanted. Here you go, this should make it better.
We must check the door of rooms.
Oh my god! Every time I open this door, I come out in the same place! What dark magic is this?
Mahoney, the laws of gravity have begun to apply.
Do I even have to say anything to that? Kinda speaks for itself. It's possibly the dumbest thing anyone has ever said.
A lemur? We don't even carry lemurs. I'm not even sure I know what a lemur is. Mahoney, we don't have time to discuss lemurs.
You know, I'm just going to start calling him Dumbass. Because he's dumb and he's an ass. Ergo, dumbass.
I should do something too.
So Dumbass runs off to do whatever dumbass things he does while the store falls apart all around him. And all of this, of course, is intercut with this. Because funny, I guess? Well, I guess it's a little funny. Funnier than anything else in this. So anyway, everything continues to go to shit, and wait, didn't Dumbass just say that the law of gravity has begun to apply again?
Mahoney, the laws of gravity have begun to apply.
That means other physical laws are going to come into play too. How are people not getting killed here? This is essentially like a holodeck with the safety parameters disabled. Someone is going to get seriously injured here. Why would Dumbass ever program his store this way, knowing that it could go rogue at any second and kill everyone in it? Wait, I kind of just answered my own question. So, after that, I know that seems like a pretty abrupt transition, but then so was the one in the movie. So, after that, Dumbass calls a meeting of himself, Mary Sue, the accountant, and the kid. That sounds like it should be the beginning of a walked into a bar joke. And Dumbass has this piece of wisdom to impart.
The store is stunningly upset as indicated by its temper tantrum.
What?
To imbue this store with the same emotion as the children, and as such, it is prone to the same outbursts.
Oh, so it's like I said before. You deliberately programmed the store this way, knowing what might happen as a result. Thanks for that.
I'm sorry, how can a store throw a temper tantrum?
I agree with the accountant.
Didn't start turning gray until Henry showed up.
I realize that, Eric.
Correlation does not equal causation. Dumbass brought accountant in to draw up a will on account of he's dying. And the store is upset about the will and the whole dying thing. Ergo, Dumbass caused both occurrences.
So if I'm making your magical playland go on the fritz, I can just submit a form and get another agent.
So Dumbass makes his big reveal. Again.
You're his heir. You're in his will.
Why is there a will?
I could have sworn we had this conversation already. Did nobody proof this?
Are you dying?
Light bulbs die, my sweet. I will depart.
Well, there's your problem. Dumbass's lines are so vague that no one can figure out what the hell he's talking about. And I hope you're ready for another awkward transition.
When exactly were you planning to depart?
Around 4:30.
This morning, he was talking gibberish.
Oh, sorry. Did I say awkward transition? I meant awkward, complete lack of a transition. So, Dumbass is now in the hospital because... I don't know. Maybe they'll explain in a minute.
And then, when he came to, he was like this.
Delusional?
That is actually a really good reason to hospitalize him. I applaud this decision.
He hasn't been making any sense.
Oh, bunkum! Hogwash, pure horseradish!
You're really not helping your case any.
Claims he owns a magical toy store.
I do, you work there.
He's 242 years old.
I'm 243. You were at my birthday party.
Wait, he's only 243? Then how the hell is he supposed to have done all the things he's supposed to have done? He wouldn't have been alive for most of them. Or is he supposed to be a time traveler?
You have to live.
I have.
Yeah. How would you like it if serial killers used that kind of logic? No, please! I want to live!
Oh, so you want to live? Well, then you got your wish. You lived.
Moving on. So Mary Sue goes to talk with Dumbass.
The doctors can't find anything wrong with you.
Of course not. I'm perfectly healthy.
Then why are you leaving?
It's my time to go.
That's not how any of this works!
What are we gonna do without you?
Probably have a much better movie!
I don't know what to do with it. It's a block of wood.
There are a million things one might do with a block of wood.
What can't you do with a block of wood? So the kid pulls a bunch of implausibly big things out of a bag via unconvincing effects. Including, for some reason, a giant plank.
Plank of wood?
Well, thank you.
Oh, go plank yourself.
If there's nothing wrong with him, we have to discharge him. We can't be responsible for men of perfect health, no matter how old or magic they claim to be.
Or, you could transfer him to a mental hospital. He's not exactly in perfect health here.
I thought I might give a concert in the psych ward tomorrow.
See? Even this idiot's heard of the psych ward, and he apparently thinks he belongs there. I never thought I'd say this, but listen to the crazy guy.
Where the heck did you even find this?
I found it in a supply closet.
We don't keep musical instruments in our supply closets.
Well, where else could I have found it?
Was that supposed to be incredibly creepy and disturbing, the way he said that line?
Well, where else could I have found it?
What was that boy doing on the chair?
Making sure I have enough space to sleep in.
Obvious joke in 3, 2, 1. And cut to Mary Sue talking to a block of wood.
If you're supposed to help me, if you're supposed to impart some great wisdom,
You do realize you're talking to a block of wood, right?
This chapter is called A Change of Heart, of Mind, of Pants.
Would you shut up with the damn chapter titles? Even the kid was embarrassed to say that one. So Mary Sue and Accountant Guy have some character developments. I'll spare you from having to sit through all of this. So Mary Sue goes to the hospital to get Dumbass out, and so anyway, Mary Sue, in an attempt to make Dumbass feel like he has something to live for, takes the aforementioned Dumbass out to have some fun around town. It's kind of a sweet gesture, and I feel like in a better movie this would be an interesting plot point, but they're not gonna do anything with this. So Mary Sue lays out some bubble wrap for Dumbass to dance on in what is actually a very well done sequence, but then Dumbass has to go and ruin it.
I wanted you to see all the little things you're gonna miss if you leave.
I thought this was to be the best last day of anyone who ever lived. I have something really important to tell you.
Please deposit an additional 35 cents.
Oh, well, he'll figure it out.
So what vitally important piece of information did Dumbass need to tell Accountant before he dies? Did it have anything to do with the continued safety of the world at large? I don't know, because he's just that damn cheap. Mr. President, I found the source of the alien code. To defeat them, all we have to do is... Please deposit additional 35 cents. Oh well, they'll figure it out.
When King Lear dies, he's written, he died. That's all, nothing more. Relate my life and end it with a simple, he died.
Again, much like the sequence with the bubble wrap, this is actually really well done. The problem is what happens immediately after, when dumbass just decides to die for no logical reason.
It just needs a little magic.
I know. I don't have any.
Well, this got depressing fast. So, what happened to that idea of the toy store going rogue and trying to eat all of humanity? Nope! It's just going to sit here all dead and stuff. They really want you to remember just how interesting he was. Which I guess is kind of a good thing, because I'd already kind of forgotten.
This chapter is called A New Beginning.
The movie's starting over? Ah! Well, at least maybe this time it'll be a little bit more interesting. I mean, they've finally gotten rid of dumbass at least. So Mary Sue puts the store up for sale because she doesn't know what else to do with it, and she receives all kinds of crap from the kid for her troubles.
I cannot be a kid anymore.
That's why Mr. Magorium gave you the store.
That makes no sense. And yet, by the way the kid is triumphantly walking away, I take it that the movie thinks he won that moment. So some prospective buyers come into the store and take a look around.
It's a magnet. How's the magnet work?
Could it be magic?
Is it magic?
I believe it is.
Oh, come on. That was an obvious thing for the kid to say. You don't have to be all blown away and inspired by that. So Mary Sue continues to mope around until the accountant guy comes in, which of course leads to an argument.
Are you supposed to unlock a mystery with a block of wood?
It's a magical block of wood, mute.
Oh, so that was the secret all this time. It's not really about belief, it's just about arguing your points. Wait, does that mean that she doesn't actually believe any of the crap she's been saying this whole time, and she just likes to be contrary? And so, we finally come to the climax. A flying block of wood. I don't even know what to say to that.
No way. I passed out. I remember. It was after the cube flew.
What cube?
Wait, what? Is she just the worst troll ever, or is the movie actually going dumber places now?
It doesn't matter. Selling the store.
Well, so much for the climax. What good is a climax if the main character doesn't even remember the forced lessons we've been learning for the past hour and a half?
Hey, you can't.
Why can't I?
Because it's magic.
Isn't that just a little difficult to believe?
Role reversal much? If this turns out to be just a test to see if the accountant really believes, I'm gonna be pissed.
It's you. You are a block of wood.
I'm a block of wood?
What?
What you need to believe in is you.
And so she does. It really is that easy. Wait, does she remember the night before or not? And if not, why not? Oh well, it doesn't matter. It's over. It's finally over. So that was Mr. Magorium's Wonder Emporium. How was it? Dumb. Really, really dumb. But mostly, it was boring. Really, really boring. The big twist is given away in literally the first 5 minutes of the movie, so anything that might potentially have been even the slightest bit interesting or suspenseful is completely ruined. And since we know exactly what's going to happen, we're just playing the waiting game for nearly 2 hours. So, in short, it's not a very good movie. But the effects were decent.